Last night, the Oklahoma City Thunder tied the series at 2 games apiece, and a big reason has been their ability to stop Nikola Jokic for the last 3 games, who has probably had one of the worst series in his career. In those games, Jokic has averaged 21 points on 33% shooting, and maybe most importantly, has committed more turnovers than assists. And as someone who is known as a basketball genius, this might be the first time ever that I've seen him one step behind. Let's first start with the post-ups. Most teams are afraid of doubling Jokic because he's one of the best passers in NBA history. Because Jokic is so hard to stop, most teams don't want his teammates to also be in a really good rhythm. But the Thunder's doubles have been very calculated. The Thunder play a double big lineup with Hartenstein and Chet, so at least one big guy will always be in the paint. Now, when Jokic posts up, they want to force him baseline and then bring a defender there because it's much harder to make that kick out pass. At the end of game 3, Jokic wants to post Hartenstein up, but as he spins, Chet comes to double, and his pass to Gordon is really difficult, so he backs it out, then drives on Hartenstein again, but Chet's right there to disrupt the shot. A few minutes before, they pulled Hartenstein out with Gordon on the strong side, but after Jokic takes a dribble, Shea comes over baseline and he strips it before Jokic can do anything with the ball. If Jokic tries to force a middle, the Thunder probably had the best instincts to the ball. That one got deflected, and in the next quarter, the Nuggets try the same thing again. This time Jokic fakes that pass, Shea and Chet then come over from both sides, so Jokic steps through and Gordon cuts perfectly, except Chet saw that coming and jumps before Gordon can do anything with it. Other times though, the Thunder will just stunt and make Jokic pick that ball up, and that's a turnover that we rarely see him make. The Thunder have constantly been physical with him, which has probably sped up his post-up just a bit faster than he'd like. On this one, Dort knows that Hartenstein is still getting back, and Jokic gets tripped whether intentional or not, but it buys time to help Shea out. Dort comes over so Jokic picks the ball up early, and that's another shot we typically see him finish. As strong as Jokic is, there's only a certain amount of physicality that anyone is willing to take, and as that continues building and building, OKC starts to find smaller advantages. This might mean catching the ball a bit further than he'd like and taking a contested jumper. Other times, we'll see him pick the ball up a bit earlier, and now he's got to make a tougher pass which gets picked off. As good as Chet and Hartenstein have been, the guy I'm most impressed with is actually Alex Caruso. Despite only being 6'5", he has really bothered Jokic in the post in different ways, this time battling for a position, and once Jokic catches it, he throws a pass a tad earlier than he'd like, and Dort does enough to mess that layup up. Typically, Caruso is the help defender on these post-ups. On this one, he's in position to double, with his back turned, Westbrook cuts, and Caruso baits Jokic to pass and has his hands up to deflect that pass. If we go back, he never looked to see where Westbrook was, so he was literally just playing off of Jokic's instincts. And that's the best thing he brings, is that he can counter Jokic's genius. In game 4, the Thunder are running back, and Jokic lobbies for the ball early, which then creates a mismatch with Chet on Christian Brown. That means Aaron Wiggins would take Jokic, except Caruso saw that and takes the challenge instead. With Jokic posting from the 3-point line, that gives Shea the time to double. After the pass, Caruso then fronts and holds Jokic so that he can't get the ball. But once he does, he forces him middle, and Shea makes that shot much more difficult. The best one though is one that TNT barely broadcasted. Because they were too busy showing a replay, we couldn't see this Caruso steal. What happened here was that Porter threw the ball to Jokic, and because Caruso came over for a second, Jokic thought a step ahead and tipped the ball to Gordon mid-air, except that's what Caruso wanted him to do, and he intercepted that pass. Caruso is a great on-ball defender, but as we've seen, it's his help defense in very pivotal spots, like this Murray-Jokic two-man game, that makes OKC's defense so complete. And this two-man game hasn't been as good for Jokic as we're accustomed to seeing. Part of the reason is that Denver doesn't have great three-point shooters, so on a pick and roll, the big man will stay on Jokic, and they'll bring another defender to cut Murray off and force a bad shooter into an open three. So with that being a problem, Denver runs that Murray-Jokic two-man game and sticks the sharpshooter Michael Porter on the strong side so J-Dub can't help. But with the double big lineup, Chet can come over, and Murray did not expect him to come that fast. And then there's just great reaction times. The Nuggets run a double drag and Jokic pops, so Chet, the help defender, takes Jokic, and Hartenstein goes down low to take that dunk away. Because the Thunder's priority is Jokic first, they will do anything to make sure he can't get the ball in an advantageous spot. Remember, the Nuggets roster isn't what you think of as compatible for the modern day. They don't have many great shooters because their offense is really built around Jokic, but that offense can only run if Jokic can get the ball in threatening positions, which the Thunder have done a great job not allowing. I think all of this partially explains why Jokic has settled for more threes in this series and hasn't made many. Yes, the elbow probably plays a factor, but he still shot 45% from three in the first round series against the Clippers. But if we just go back a year ago, he had played a really grueling 7-game series against Minnesota in which he only shot 22% on threes. And I think a similar thing is going on here. Anytime Jokic is within the 3-point line, the Thunder will try to confuse him as much as they can. Are they doubling? Where are they sending the double? Also, considering all the effort it takes to just get the ball in the post, getting a few more threes to drop could help open up the paint. The times where I think he's been most successful in this series is when the Thunder have to deal with another action first before they can throw all their resources at Jokic again. And it doesn't need to be anything that complicated. Denver runs his triple handoff and then goes into an inverted pick and roll, so knowing that Hartenstein wants to help, Gordon just holds him so he has to shed him first, and that gives Jokic enough time to get deep in the paint. On this one, Jokic first screens for Murray, so Hartenstein is a tad late. Jokic then throws a pump fake, and now has a step and navigates through the traffic for a layup. When Jokic screens, the defense has to naturally figure out where that ball is going before getting back to Jokic. And through parts of the last 2 games, the Thunder got a little fixated on Jokic and forgot about the others. With some good screens, Porter got a few good looks, which ended up being huge for the Nuggets to win Game 3. But for Denver to win this series, Jokic is going to have to figure out how he can get better looks. While the Thunder are a young team, this defense is why they won 68 games in the regular season. They're fast, intelligent, and most importantly, play with constant energy and hustle, which is what is required to make one of the best players' lives as hard as possible. Despite losing 2 close games, the Thunder are in this series because they've been able to consistently stifle Jokic. But if there is one guy that can figure this out, it would be the 3-time NBA MVP, which is why this is a second round series that you can't miss. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If so, please like and subscribe. Appreciate your guys' support, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.